Hello, welcome to our channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom, and in this video we're going to look at a classic. This is Jurassic Park. So this is a PG-13 movie. They came out in 1993, I believe. I'm checking here. Yes. So this is the Spielberg film. This is the original. I may go over the Jurassic, the three ones that come after this, not part of the Jurassic World nonsense. It's a whole different kettle of fish. And I don't like them because they're bad. And I can remember coming out of, I saw the first Jurassic World coming with my parents and coming out and saying, well, that was boring. It was legitimately boring. So we're going to be talking about this. This is the original 1993 Spielberg film, which used a lot of animatronics and a lot better scripting. So, and it is based off a book by Michael Crichton. And yes, I'm seriously enough not covering the book, so I'm going to bring it up here because I have read it. It's interesting. Crichton has issues. There's lots of issues. The film is very, very good. No, it's not realistic. I mean, it's Jurassic Park. You want to put on a crazy monster film, that's fun. This works. It's PG-13. If you want to talk about the unrealistic things going on in genetics and how, no, it is not possible to extract dino DNA and mix it with frog DNA and create dinosaurs, yeah. If you want to look at it as a comparison with a book, do that too, because that's even weirder. All right, so let's moving on. If you're not aware of this, I do not know where you've been. This is a very, very well-known Spielberg film. It is the story of the main character is Dr. Alan Grant. He is a paleontologist. He studies dinosaurs, and he and his friend, student, Dr. Ellie Sadler, who is a paleobotanist, i.e. she studies ancient plants, as brought along with mathematician Ian Malcolm and the lawyer, basically to look at John Hammond's park. And no, they don't explain exactly what is going on at first. So you have that wonderful, amazing scene of, oh dear God, dinosaurs. So you see the giant dinosaurs, and they're just absolutely amazed. And they come to this park, and they go through the science, how they found a bunch of amber, and they extracted dino DNA from the mosquitoes trapped in the amber, and they mixed it around and fit the mixing pieces in with frogs. Yes, the frog thing is important. Why they chose frogs, God knows. Stupidest thing in the world, considering dinosaurs are somewhere related to birds and ancient, reptiles, not amphibians. They're not related to amphibians. A lot of them had feathers. Kendra, be quiet. Cat is complaining. But again, they go through all that science. Then Hammond's two young grandchildren show up, which are Tim and, what on earth is the girl's name? Jump down through here, and Lexi. So, yes, Tim and Lexi, who were, I think she's like middle school. I think he's like 12. They're both around middle school age. Yes, this is very, very different from the film, from the book. And then they go on a tour. They see the velociraptors, which are apparently very, very smart and far bigger than they should be. Then you have the whole, before they're heading back, Sadler and then Muldoon, who's the park ranger of sorts, or dinosaurs, find an injured, I think it's a triceratops, that's been eating the wrong things, and they head back. And so then they finish kind of the tour. They're stopped by the Tyrannosaurus when everything shuts down. So the other thing that's going on is you have, what on earth is his name? bring up the character's name, who is our nasty piece of work here. Where on earth is he? Why on earth is he not shown? There we go, Nerdy. Who is, he's working there. He's a slob. He's a fat slob. And he's essentially selling, he's gotten in line with this guy named Dobson to basically sell the dino DNA, so to speak. So he puts a virus on the computers that shuts everything down, allows him to steal it. He then tries to run off. Unfortunately, it's raining because there's a hurricane, and he's killed by an imaginary frilly dinosaur that, 1, was a heck of a lot bigger, 2, did not have that frills, and 3, was not poisonous. It was just eating him. But nonetheless, they decided to add frills of a snake and poison for some reason to make it more dramatic. But he gets eaten. He's eaten. And so everything's shut down. The dinosaurs get loose, and the T-Rex gets out. No, if you stay still, in the extremely unlikely event a T-Rex is going to get near you, he's still going to eat you. Because I believe the science of it is they have this eyesight of a hawk. So yeah, you're still dead. But they're going off this weird frog thing with, if it's not moving, they can't see you. Lawyer is eaten. Malcolm's crushed. And yet somehow survives. And then Dr. Grant and the 2 children are pushed off a cliff. And they survive in one of the, and then you have their whole adventure of them going across the park. Why Sadler and Muldoon and, Woo, that's the name of his character, who's one of the science, who's the main science guy. I can find him here. Why on earth is he? There we go. Yes, Woo. And then you also have Samuel L. Jackson, who plays Arnold, who's one of the other people on site. And so they're trying to get everything back on. And the children, they're trying to find the children. Hammond's freaking out because his grandchildren are lost in his park, and it's going crazy. And they go back and find Malcolm, and bring him back, and he's got broken legs. And eventually, I believe, Samuel L. Jackson's character dies. I don't think Woo's character dies. I don't think Woo dies, because Woo somehow shows up later. Hammond does not die. Muldoon dies. But they get the power back on. The children get back. Then you have the whole children being attacked by velociraptors, which are way too big than they should be, because they're the size of turkeys, and they have feathers, but they did not know this, the feathers part at this time. The turkeys, yes. In fact, it's brought up in the beginning of the film. What they don't know is Utah rabbits were a thing. Those were discovered, I think, shortly before the movie came out. Those were the size of the things you see, which were actually humans in costume. But moving on. They escape, they get in a helicopter, and movie ends. It's very, very fun. It's very, very action-packed. It's not very realistic dino-wise. It's a fantastic way to look at some of the amazing visual and practical effects. It was the top of the line thing that they were doing with practical effects in this film. So it's very, very fun. I saw it in theaters. I probably shouldn't have. I was a sensitive kid. I think I was 9. I had nightmares. It didn't help that I grew up on a tropical island. And yes, a lot of this took place on a tropical island. Now, to the mass difference in the book. Here. 1, it starts off a little bit earlier where the dinosaurs are escaping and eating people and babies. I'm not joking. It breaks into a maternity hospital and eats babies, which is fun. So you know about dinosaurs already. Sadler's a heck of a lot younger. She's engaged to a doctor. She's his student. She's still a paleobotanist. And yes, I believe whether it's the IRS, the CIA are messing around with what the heck is Hammond doing on these islands, because they're getting some high-tech high-tech technology, and I believe these specific types of gene editing computers that are very, very big and take up a lot of power. And so people are nosing around. Donaldson's part of another company. Kendra, be quiet. I have a complaining cat here. You came in here. Nobody made you. Cats. Senior cats. And that. But again, and so so people are nosing around. Donaldson comes from another company. And yes, he interacts with Nerdy. I can't remember how Nerdy dies. I think he's just killed by a dinosaur. A lot of people are more people killed by a dinosaur. But again, the science is a little bit more complex, and there's a whole lot more shady stuff. Hammond is nasty in the book. You don't care that he dies, and he does in fact die. He's eaten by comprees, also known as compies, which are very small meat-eating dinosaurs, and they eat him. And you're happy because he's a dick. The children are different. The Lexi is much, much younger. She's like 6. And then Tim is older. And he's still done. And they're there because their parents are getting divorced because the dad's a dick, essentially. He's a dick. And Lexi's complaining all the time. So, and Grant likes children. Yeah, he likes children because they're interesting and they are excited, particularly when he's interacting with them. They're excited about dinosaurs. He wants to spend time with Tim. And then Wu is killed, and he's young, he's arrogant, he wants to play God. It's very much implied that both him and Hammond have no conscience whatsoever. So Malcolm may or may not die. That's brought up in the second book where they kind of bring him back. It's almost implied that he may have died at the end of this book, but then the author brings him back because he is in the Lost World, which I may cover at a later date because that's an interesting look at how this is insane and how no, this is not possible. Because Crichton is like, yeah, this is nuts. He likes science and he hates science. He has a love-hate relationship with science. We'll say that. Because I'm trying to think. I've watched something on the Andromeda Strain, which no, not covering. It's Crichton. He does a lot of medical stuff, and he's not entirely very bright as an author. But again, yeah, the film is. It's again. There's a lot of other things. I think Muldoon survives as well. A lot more people. There's a lot more unsavory stuff going on in the book. It's very, very interesting. It's definitely meant for the older kids. This depends on your kid. Again, I saw it when it came out in theaters at 9. It gave me nightmares, but I was a sensitive kid who was taking a summer class on dinosaurs because I like dinosaurs. And I lived on a tropical island. So the idea of these dinosaurs jumping out and attacking me in my bathroom was bizarre. But again, I lived on a tropical island. So I was in the environment. So it gave me nightmares for like a couple of weeks. Depends on your kid. I don't know about my kid yet. Right now she seems fearless, but she's 3. In fact, I think she'll be closer to 4 by the time you see this. This is a very, very good film. It's very, very fun. It's very, very action-packed, but it's a monster movie. It's an action monster movie. That's just what it is. Its educational value comes in doing the behind-the-scenes stuff, looking into the research of the practical effects, seeing how this comes out, and what Spielberg did. And then it kind of compare it to the book, and how weird it is, and how different it is. So that's really what the use is of this. And yes, that's a cat in the background. So that's really the end of this video. If you like what you see, be sure to check the rest of the channel. I am doing some, I think I'm doing I don't know what on earth I'm covering. Dinosaurs. There's a reason. I can't remember what the reason is why I'm covering dinosaurs. What, in fact, what book is bouncing off Jurassic Park here? I think it probably has something to do with Caribbean, because I can't find anything else. Not dinosaurs. Eventually I might cover dinosaurs. It's on the list. But right now it has to do with, there's not a lot of, this takes place in Puerto Rico. Besides Cool Runnings, there's not a lot of films that take place in Puerto Rico, in the Caribbean, that are not shark films, which I will not cover because I have issues with them displaying great whites as demons, or highly inappropriate for this channel. So, Cool Runnings is being covered, which is a whole nother cuttlefish. It's another useless film that is just fun. Um, it's just fun. So, I'm covering LGBT stuff. I'm covering Caribbean American stuff. I have more valuable books being covered, which is probably the reason I'm not covering Jurassic Park at the book. I need something because there's not a lot of films that I can find covered, which is the reason I think the only major films I'm covering for this are Jurassic Park and Cool Runnings. The only things I could find, and I happen to own these. I may cover them more detail later, maybe next year in 2024. That whole schedule is still pretty much up in the air. But if you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. I do cover a lot more education stuff. I'm covering LGBTQ stuff. I think I'm covering unicorns. I'm covering the Guardians of Go Cool book series. By the time I believe you guys see this, I've also covered the Princess Diaries and Tamora Pierce. A variety of other series. That's what's going on now. I'm going back to Meg Cabot after the end of the Guardians of Ga'Hoole, and then I'm going back to Catherine Lasky, which is the author of the Guardians of Ga'Hoole, near the end of the year for book series, along with a wide variety of things. I'm actually doing some musicals, covering musicals this year. So I have The Sound of Music, which is yet to film. I'm also doing vaccines this year, as well as a wide variety of things. So be sure to check out the channel. I have covered Black History Month. I've covered Asian History Month. So, and a variety of different theme things. I've had the Halloween stuff. I don't know if I'm doing much Halloween stuff. You run up against different things. I've covered the classics, some of my first October. So, and I will occasionally throw in children's board games because we are a homeschooling family. So we have board games. I just haven't covered them lately. Travel. This year, I don't know. When in fact are you guys seeing this? Let me see where this is. I actually have my thing pulled up. This is June. By the time you guys see this, we are still planning at least 2 trips this year. So I will cover those and see if I can cover some stuff that goes on there and some tips. Please, again, ignore the cat who's meowing. Kendra, here. You will periodically see this creature. By the time you see her, she will be 14. She is 13 right now, and she is cranky. Yes, you're an annoying creature, and I love you, but you're an annoying, vicious creature. This is one of 4 cats we have in this house. The other 3 I do not let in because they are young and even more annoying this thing. Kendra. Okay, let's wrap this up. So, if you like what you see, again, check out the channel, like and subscribe, leave a positive comment if you have one, and check everything else out. And again, annoying cats. And yes, she's in a lot of these videos. So, thank you